What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, we're doing another silly season update. We're talking about everything that's happened up in the silly season so far, and also ask the unanswered questions when it comes to 2023 to 2024 NASCAR silly season. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. In the second week of January, Kevin Harvick would officially announce he'd be retiring from NASCAR at the end of the 2023 season. And then we'll confirm a month later that he'd be joining the Fox Sports booth in 2024. After a long, illustrious career, Kevin Harvick officially announced retirement. Then a couple days later, Kyle Larson would officially announce he'd be running the 2024 and 2025 Indianapolis 500s. He'll be driving for Aaron McLaren in the number 17 car, as that was confirmed during the Indy Road Course weekend. This car will also have Hendrick support in the 2024 and 2025 Indianapolis 500s as well. Silly season to be quiet for a few weeks, and then Chase Briscoe would confirm in late January to early February that he has signed a multi-year contract extension with Stewart-Haas Racing. Details were not exactly enclosed in regards to the contract extension, but Chase Briscoe is going to be with Stewart-Haas Racing for many years to come in the number 14 car. Then silly season to be quiet once again for a few weeks, and during Daytona Media Days, a bunch of silly season announcements that happened. First, Daniel Suarez would announce that he has signed a multi-year contract extension with Trackhouse Racing. It is a multi-year deal. A lot of people believe that this deal goes through the 2025 season. Daniel Suarez will be expected to step up in 2024 and 2025. Is he's going to stick around? But trust me, Daniel Suarez will be around for a very, very long time. On that same day, Alex Bowman also announced that he signed a multi-year contract extension with Hailie Motorsports through the 2026 season. In addition to that, Ally had also signed through 2028. Alex won't be there for many, many years to come and looks to win many more races and many more championships with Hailie Motorsports for many years to come with the organization. Then the next day, on the Wednesday, Ross Chastain had announced that he signed a long-term extension with Trackhouse Racing, meaning that Ross Chastain will be there for the next 5 to 6 years at least. In addition to that, Busch Beer is going to be joining as a sponsor for Ross Chastain starting in 2024 for at least 18 races for the next few years. Ross Chastain has brought a big brand for the team with the watermelon branding, and he will continue driving for Trackhouse Racing for many years to come. Then silly season to be quiet for a few weeks, but there's been a lot of discussion in regards to Hailie Deegan and her future in NASCAR. Now, Hailie Deegan went on the Barstool podcast with Large Inspire, and she says that she wants to go Xfinity Series racing in 2024. But she does need funding and sponsorship if she's going to make up the jump to the Xfinity Series in 2024. There's been a lot of rumors and chatter that she could make the jump in 2024 if teams maybe like AM Racing or RSS Racing in the 2024 year. She won't be headed to Stewart-Haas Racing, as Tony Stewart confirmed that after he had praised her in the SRX race. There's a really strong chance and possibility that you're going to see Hailie Deegan in Xfinity Series in 2024. There's a great chance of possibly. Personally, I think she deserves moved up to Xfinity in the 2024 year. Not based on her performance, but I think the drivers have better suit styles than others, and I think Hailie Deegan will do a much better job in the Xfinity Series than she has done in the Truck Series. I look at Harrison Burton, for example. Then a few weeks later, Dale Jr. on the podcast was saying that they were trying to get Junior Motorsports up to the NASCAR Cup Series. However, a few weeks ago, about a month ago as a matter of fact, Dale Jr. officially confirmed that they will not go Cup racing in 2024. Now, certainly in the future, it's possible of how much the charters are costing now, around $40 to $50 million. It doesn't surprise or shock me that Junior Motorsports is decided, you know what, we're not going to make the jump up in 2024, but they officially confirmed that those rumors are true, that they're not jumping up. Then in early May, in the second week of May, Legacy Motor Club would officially announce that they'll be switching Toyota in 2024. And they also confirmed that Eric Jones will be back in the 43 car in 2024 as well. Eric Jones deserves the opportunity to stay with Legacy Motor Club, and I think this is going to be a long-term move. And they're also going to be a key partner team with Toyota, which will be the first time that this team has been a key partner team in a very, very long time, which I think is a big deal for Legacy Motor Club. Then in May and June, there was a lot of chatter circulating around Carl Edwards. And Carl Edwards has stated publicly that he's potentially interested in doing a one-off in NASCAR. First, we all thought maybe he'd be with Trackhouse Racing. We'll get into why it won't be Trackhouse Racing in just a second. But 2311 Racing, a team that he has been linked to if he was to a one-off. Because Denny Hamel has said that he's asked Carl, he actually, when he opened up 2311 Racing, has stated that he would love to have Carl Edwards in a one-off event. I don't think Trackhouse Racing is going to be possible for Carl Edwards, but I do believe there's a chance that we could see Carl Edwards return to NASCAR with 2311 Racing on a one-off. Then in early June, before the off week began, it was announced and reported that Joe Gibbs Racing has sold a minority stake to HBSE. Now, there's not going to be any name change or any personnel changing. There's bringing new key personnel in, and Joe Gibbs will be a partner with the Washington Commanders, also the New Jersey Devils, and also, of course, will be partnered up with the Philadelphia 76ers as well as a minority owner. It's just to be able to bring sponsorship funding to the organization long term. Then, after months of speculation, in the middle to late June, Josh Berry will be finalized to drive the number 4 for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024, and Rodney Childers is going to be the crew chief of that said car. Josh Berry deserves the opportunity, chance to go NASCAR Cup Series racing. I think he's going to make the best of it. And Rodney Childers stated publicly that he was not going to be back if they did not get Josh Berry in that car, and this decision had been made months prior and months earlier. Then, early in the middle of July, Frankie Muniz spoke to the media in regards to his future in NASCAR. And he says he's planning to join either the Xfinity Series or Truck Series in 2024. Frankie Muniz has been doing a solid job in ARCA this year in 2023. I know the last 5 or 6 races have not gone well for him, but a majority of those issues have been mechanical gremlins and mechanical failures with Retta Jones Racing. I think Frankie Muniz, if he does move up the Xfinity or Trucks, I think he'll do a much better job, and I think it will suit his style a lot more. Then, William Swalch would confirm in late June to late July that he will be expanding his schedule for 2024. He'll run the Xfinity Series and Truck Series on a part-time basis, and eventually in 2025, when he does turn 18 years old at the end of 2024, he will join Joe Gibbs Racing full-time in 2025. William Swalch has a lot of talent, and I think he deserves a chance and opportunity, and will move up. Then, a few weeks later, Ryan Preece, and is cited later as well, that Ryan Preece is close to signing an extension with Stewart-Haas Racing to return to the number 41 car for 2024. While the deal has not been officially announced at this time, I would imagine Stewart-Haas Racing is going to give Ryan Preece another year in the NASCAR Cup Series in the 41 cars. I think he deserves another year with the organization. And then in late July, Justin Haley was shockingly announced that he would be joining Rick Ware Racing in 2024 on a multi-year deal. Justin Haley will also have support from RFK Racing, and we've seen Rick Ware Racing show major signs of improvement. But we're going to see Justin Haley leave College Racing end of the year and join Rick Ware Racing. And there's been a lot of chatter circulating around Carson Hocevar, as he right now is the current favorite to drive the number 77 for Spire Motorsports in the 2024 year. Carson Hocevar making quite a few starts in the Cup Series this year. Has also had a lot of success in the select Xfinity races he's been in, and has been very impressive in the 42 for Legacy Motor Club, to the point he's getting more starts than originally scheduled. But we are going to see Carson Hocevar more than likely in that number 77 car with how much talent he does have. Speaking of Spire Motorsports, Corey LaJoie would officially announce on his podcast that he has signed a multi-year contract extension with Spire Motorsports. While the full details were not enclosed, it's speculated that Corey LaJoie signed a 2 or 3 year deal. Now, Corey LaJoie did have offers from bigger organizations and better teams to get a chance to run, but Corey LaJoie will stick around with Spire Motorsports at least for the next 2 years. Then during Michigan weekend on Friday, Ryan Ellis would announce that he'll be returning to Alpha Prime Racing full-time in 2024, driving the number 43 car. Has shown flashes of brilliance, and I think this is a well-deserved promotion for Ryan Ellis. Has been a big help in bringing this team to be a better organization. I think he's going to do wonders continuing to drive for this team. Also on Michigan weekend, Martin Truex Jr. would officially confirm that he'd be returning to Joe Gibbs Racing in 2024 on a 1-year deal. There have been a lot of chatter early in the year that Martin Truex Jr. might have retired at the end of the 2023 year. With him coming back to JGR in 2024, I think this is going to benefit JGR having Martin Truex Jr. there, especially when it comes to stability. When it was announced that Martin Truex Jr. would be returning to JGR, it was also confirmed that Ryan Truex would also be returning to Joe Gibbs Racing in 2024. Now, he will at least be there on a part-time basis, but Ryan Truex wants to run full-time in Xfinity in 2024. And certainly, I do believe that Ryan Truex will get a great chance and opportunity to run full-time with the team, because I do believe there's a good chance that he is going to be a full-time driver in the NASCAR Xfinity Series with JGR in 2024. Then during the same Michigan weekend, Kyle Busch would confirm he'll be running 5 races with the team once again in 2024, but also confirmed that Chase Purdy will be returning to Kyle Busch Motorsports in the number 4 car next year, and Nick Sanchez will return to Rev Racing in 2024. Chase Purdy has shown flashes of brilliance this year with KBM, and also Nick Sanchez has done a great job with Rev Racing. He still has a good chance to potentially make the championship for in trucks this year. Both drivers have earned the right to stick with their respective teams. Then the week after the Michigan week, during the week, Front Row Motorsports would officially announce their 2024 NASCAR Cup Series driver lineup, and they're going to keep the same lineup for 2024. Michael McDowell is going to drive the 34 car, and Todd Gillen will drive the 38 car. Now, Front Row Motorsports also confirmed that their Truck Series team will return in 2024 on a full-time basis, but a driver has not been announced at this time. That could be a potential possibility for Hailie Deegan could go as well if she sticks in trucks. Nonetheless, I think it's great that Front Row is staying safe, and it'll keep both their drivers who've had a lot of success with the team the last few years. Then in early August, Noah Gragson would be announced he would not be returning to Legacy Motor Club in 2024, and he is now a free agent. He basically announced he'd be let go from the team and has been reinstated back into the sport. Noah Gragson does have some potential options that are available for 2024, maybe one Cup option, maybe a couple Xfinity options, and some truck options as well, but he will for sure be a free agent going into 2024, and I think he deserves a chance to come back into the sport. Then after some chatter around Austin Hill, during late August, Austin Hill had announced he had signed a multi-year extension with Rich Schultz Racing to continue to drive the number 21 car. The reason he said that is because of stability. He will be in the number 21 car at least for the next 2 years, and then potentially in 2026, we may see Austin Hill in the Cup Series if RSR is able to acquire a charter. It makes a lot of sense, and it's great stability to keep Austin Hill around long-term with RSR, with how much success that he's already had with the team. And then throughout this whole entire year, there's been a lot of chatter circulating around Eric Almirola, as it was reported by Jordan Bianchi many times that Eric Almirola is likely retiring at the end of 2023. And it also sounds like the Smithfield may be out as well at the end of 2023. Now, there's been some chatter as well that Stewart-Haas Racing could potentially downsize their program, but many people do believe that SHR will remain a 4-car team in 2024. But Eric Almirola, I think, will retire, and I think Cole Custer is more than likely going to end up taking over that 10 car of him being in the SHR program. Then before the week, GMS Racing would then announce they'd be shutting down at the end of 2023. This was announced, I think, on the Wednesday before the Daytona week, or the Watkins Glen week, I should say, that they'd be shutting down at the end of 2023. GMS Racing, after a lot of success because of the fact that Legacy Motor Club, which of course is owned by Mari Gallagher, they are switching to Toyota next year. They won't have their development program, and it makes a lot of sense why they're shutting down after a lot of success. All 3 drivers are current free agents, so Daniel Dye does have a ride in Rogers, so looking for a ride, and same with Grant. But right now, GMS Racing will confirm that they are shutting down. And then during the same week before Watkins Glen, Parker Claremont would be announced he'd be returning to Big Machine Racing in 2024. After making the playoffs for the team and having a great year, he's earned a ride and opportunity to continue driving for Big Machine and confirmed that he'll be back with the team in the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series season after making the playoffs and showing impressive speed. And then there have been chatter early in the year about Kurt Busch maybe returning, but during Daytona weekend before the playoff cutoff race happened, Kurt Busch would have announced he'd be retiring from NASCAR effective immediately. He said he's not medically cleared, and he's still going to be working with 2311 Racing. Now, Kurt Busch said that he's going to try to maybe run in other racing series in the future, but again, we had a lot of chatter circulating that Kurt Busch may potentially make like a one-off return or maybe make a couple starts. He wanted to come back and run full-time, but he said with his health, any other health factors, that he was not coming back, which is really disappointing, but it's understandable, and we respect the decision from Kurt Busch. Then a few weeks ago, Matt DiBenedetto would announce he would not be returning to Rackley WR Racing in 2024. It was a mutual decision and mutual agreement from the team, apparently, and he was let go from the team. Now, Matt DiBenedetto is still currently looking for a ride headed in 2024. He has been linked to Call It Racing. He's been linked to other teams like Junior Motorsports and even Joe Gibbs Racing as well. But Matt DiBenedetto for sure is not going to be back at Rackley after a very successful second year with the organization. And then we catch up to the most recent news. In the first week of September, after the Southern 500, Denny Hamlin would officially announce, after speculation about 2311 Racing maybe switching to Ford, that Denny Hamlin has signed a multi-year contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing. On top of that, 2311 Racing is going to stick with Toyota. Now, Denny Hamlin stated about a week or two ago that there's a potential possibility that his deal could even get extended longer past the next few years. While the deal was not finalized, it sounds like it's 2025 or 2026 that the deal is going to end up going through. It's a great decision. Denny Hamlin's having a great year. Already scored 3 wins in 2023 and looks to win more races in 2023, maybe win his first championship. Then later that evening or the next day, it was reported by Jordan Bianchi that Harrison Burton is expected to return to the Wood Brothers in 2024, with a deal expected to be announced in the coming weeks and announcement soon. Well, Harrison Burton has struggled with the Wood brothers. I think this is well-deserved for Harrison Burton to come back with the team because sponsorship funding, and I think one more year is earned for Harrison Burton. Plus, he kind of confirmed that in an Instagram post that he was going to be coming back to the Wood brothers in 2024. And then the next day on the Wednesday, about a week or two ago, John Nemechek would finalize that he'd be driving for Legacy Motor Club in 2024, driving the number 42 car. John Hunter has been tearing up in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and I think this is a well-deserved promotion for John Hunter Nemechek going into the 2024 year. He hasn't been in the Cup full-time since 2020, but I think he's more mature at this point and will do a much better job. And it's still seemed to be quiet for about a week. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, Sam Mayer would confirm that he'd be returning to Junior Motorsports in 2024, driving the number 1 car. Sam Mayer has already won 2 races here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series and could win more by the end of the year. And I think Sam Mayer is going to be expected to be a championship threat and a championship contender with Junior Motorsports in 2024. And there's been a lot of chatter circulating about Sammy Smith potentially heading to Junior Motorsports in 2024. Sammy Smith has been rumored because of Pia Flying J, which of course is a big partner of Junior Motorsports in the past, and a family connection that they have there. So there's a great chance and possibility that you're going to see Sammy Smith with the Junior Motorsports colors in 2024 in the number 8 car. And then last week, it was officially announced after speculation that Shane Van Gisbergen will be driving for Trackhouse Racing in 2024 in a development deal. He will run part-time in the Cup Series, run a lot in Xfinity, run a lot in trucks, and also run some late model and maybe some ARCA races as well. Most likely with Pinnacle Racing Group with ARCA and late models, and then of course with Trucks and East Motorsports, and most likely called in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. After winning that race at Chicago, showing impressive stuff, he wants to run more ovals, and that's a huge reason why he's getting this development deal. Then over the weekend on Friday, Colin Racing officially announced their driver for the 31 car, and Daniel Hemrick will drive that number 31 car in 2024. Stability reasons, a major reason, of course, with Daniel Hemrick being part of Colin Racing. It made a lot of sense for him to get the chance, the opportunity to drive for Colin Racing next year once again in Cup. They've been planning this really since the beginning of the year, and I think it makes a lot of sense for him to go in the 31 car, though he hasn't shown signs of greatness in Xfinity for the last few years. He's a very consistent driver, did of course have a pretty solid run in the race. I think this is well-deserved for Daniel Hemrick. Speaking of Colin Racing, they talked about the 16 car as well, and they did say that they have a driver potentially going in that car next year. There's a lot of rumors and chatter circulating that AJ Allmendinger may head back down to the NASCAR Xfinity Series and run full-time, meaning that 16 car could end up being available. Some people have been speculating drivers that could have an opportunity like Matt DiBenedetto and Noah Gragson. Justin Allgaier have been mentioned, but he's off the running at this point. We'll talk about why here in just a little bit. Other drivers like Ty Dillon have been mentioned, and Ty Dillon seems to be the front runner for the 16. My personal opinion, I hope it's AJ, Noah Gragson, or Matt DiBenedetto, but those drivers have been mentioned for the 16 car. And then on Saturday afternoon for the NASCAR Cup Series cutoff race, Zane Smith would officially announce they'll be driving for Trackhouse Racing in 2024. But he'll be loaned out to Spire Motorsports in 2024. And then it was also announced that Trackhouse will have an alliance with Spire Motorsports as well, and Spire will expand to 3 cars in the 2024 season. It is well-deserved in my opinion. Zane Smith's been doing a really, really great job in trucks, and he's been rumored or been talking about Stewart-Haas Racing. Even RFK and Braggs lots to confirm earlier in the day that they were looking maybe to pick him up for RFK, but they weren't able to acquire a charter. That's why a huge reason. But I think this is a massive pickup for Trackhouse Racing, brings Zane into the family. They originally was going to go to Ganassi, so it's full circle. He'll be with this team in 2024. Speaking of Spire Motorsports, they're getting the charter from Live Fast Motorsports, and they confirmed they'll be selling their charter to Spire for $40 million. Now, they did confirm they'll run a part-time schedule in 2024. They might have multiple different drivers in that car for 2024 in the number 78 or 79, whatever number they decide to do. A lot of people believe that 78 is going to be going to Spire Motorsports. The Spire looks to improve. Of course, we know that they've got Andretti coming into play, and they've got that Gamebridge money coming in as well with the Trackhouse Alliance. But I think this is a great thing for Live Fast. They're going to run part-time and put all that money they get probably back in their Xfinity program, which is going to make their program a lot better. And then this past week on Friday, Brandon Jones would announce he'd be returning to Junior Motorsports in 2024, driving the number 9 car. Now, this had already been confirmed at Daytona week, but they finalized he'll be back in the 9. Menards is a massive reason why he is sticking around in that number 9 car, but Brandon Jones at times has shown flash to brilliance in the 9 car in 2023, especially as of late, and I think he will get better in the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. And finally, after Justin Allgaier won the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Bristol, he confirmed he'll also be returning to Junior Motorsports in 2024, driving the number 7 car. There have been a lot of chatter circulating that potentially Justin Allgaier was maybe, just maybe, going to go ahead and go to Hailie Racing, but we know for sure he'll be with Junior Motorsports in 2024. With stability reasons, I think it's a great decision to keep him around with Junior Motorsports in 2024, and glad to see he'll be back with Junior Motorsports in 2024. So, that is going to be it for the next NASCAR silly season recap and update. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What are your thoughts on the silly season update? Let me know your thoughts in comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have an NASCAR news video on the channel. There might be more videos coming today if any major news breaks. And then, of course, on Thursday, I'll have race picks for the Cup Series race at Bristol. And then, of course, on Friday, we'll have another NASCAR news video on the channel. Followed by on Saturday, we'll have the NASCAR Xfinity Series race view from Texas. And then on Sunday, of course, the NASCAR Cup Series race view from Texas. Got a lot of great content dropping on the channel, and I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.